now, for God's sake, kindly leave me alone.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to a brand new review of the new Jethro Tull album, the Zealot Gene. This is the first album of all new material in 23 years. Now, before we dive into this, if you're new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. So a little bit of history here. The band formed back in 1967, and they are currently celebrating their 55th anniversary this year. Now, of course, the one constant member in all various different lineups of Jethro Tull is Ian Anderson. In 1968, they did release their debut album called This Was, and over the course of the band's career, they would continue make these musical shifts and changes to their sound. And of course, who can't forget in 1987 when they released Crest of a Knave and actually beat Metallica for the best Grammy metal performance of that year. The last album of all original material was 1999's J-Tull .Com. This is a 20-second studio album which features an entirely new lineup of the band. Of course, we have Ian Anderson on vocals and flute. Florian Opel, and I hope I am saying his name right, plays guitar. He's been with the band since 2003. He's recorded on various Ian Anderson solo projects, although he did leave the recording during this album here, so I do believe there's another member that is now playing with the band, or at least when they go out on the road. David Goodyear on bass since 2007, and he has recorded with Ian Anderson solo. Then we have John O'Hare on keyboards, also from 2007, and Scott Hammond on drums, who toured with the band in 2011, but didn't join up with them until 2017, and again has recorded with Ian Anderson solo. What else is also interesting is that this is the only second album not to feature Martin Barre on guitar. This album features 12 new tracks, and while not a concept album, it focuses on human traits and emotions and tells a story of those. Origin of this album does date back to 2017, so before the pandemic, before the lockdown, before the world shut down. What is immediately noticeable to me, it is such a good sounding album. Excellent musicianship, great production on it, and even Ian Anderson's vocals sound really good and impressive. He has settled into a nice range that he's comfortable with, and that I think he sounds really good doing it, and it comes across in this album in big ways. It does sound like a Jethro Tull album to me, and a distinguished from Ian's solo work. That was my biggest concern. You know, he's bringing in a bunch of people from his solo tours and works, and how is this going to differentiate between the group and solo, and I think it does nicely. Let's talk about a few of the highlights of the album. Track number 5, Shoshana Sleeping. This one here to me, I think is one of the most classic Tull sounding songs on the album, and Ian plays some of my favorite flute I've heard in a long time. Other highlights to me from the album are Mine is the Kingdom, the title track, Zealot Gene, Sad City Sisters, 3 Love 3, and In Brief Visitation are all, in my opinion, worth listening to. So, bottom line on this album here is it's nice to have a brand new album after more than 2 decades. It's really welcome in of itself. I know I'm certainly excited for it. The album itself is more than just a collection of new songs. To me, it's a worthy addition to the Tull collection and legacy. They build on what comes before. They offer up a little bit of something new, and they develop something that this album here and in itself, I think, definitely stands on its own, going to appeal to new and old fans alike. Either way, I think it's a good album. It's got a lot of the characteristics of classic Tull, making for what is going to be a great album overall, in my opinion. So do yourself a favor, check this album out. If you're a fan of Jethro Tull, you will like it. And as a final rating, I'm going to give Jethro Tull's The Zealot Gene an 88%. Thanks, everybody. Take care. All right, thank you for listening to my thoughts on the Zealot Gene. And now, as always, I want to show you a copy of the physical CD or vinyl, whatever I may have of it. I've got the vinyl of this one, of course. Wasn't sure what to think of that cover when I first saw it. I'm still not 100% sure I like it, but it's growing on me a little bit. Of course, there's the back, the side profile of Mr. Anderson. Oh, I got a head growing out of myself. Sorry. Open it up for the gatefold. And I will dig out one of the vinyl and I will show you the label on it because they're both the same. There it is right there. And now I'll show you the big booklet. Now, what does that remind you of? That reminds me of Ministry in the Gallery. Yeah. All right, what does that remind everybody of? Reminds me of Minstrel in the Gallery for sure. Definitely gives me those vibes. And open the booklet here. We got some track notes and some musings by Mr. Anderson, which is kind of a neat read. He's got away with words. And we have lyrics. And more lyrics. And the back. It'd be nice maybe to have more pictures of the guys in the band, but whatever. Yeah, so there you go. I hope everybody's enjoyed this review of the Zealot Gene, and let's hope we get some more great music out of Jethro Tull. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.